Hello Divine Feminine, and welcome to your power message for Saturday, Super Saturday. So I thought wear a little bit of bling today. We're getting closer to Christmas time, bringing a little bit of sparkle in. I've also got my gold reindeers on today, so just bringing in some power, because 10 is power. You know, whenever we see the number 10 on the clock, 1010, or we go to the shops and our food that we buy or what we buy, our shopping comes to 1010, you know, we just see that number somewhere. It's a sign of power. So you're being reminded today to stand in your power. And the message says, I trust my inner wisdom and I follow its guidance. Now, sometimes to receive that inner wisdom, we have to go into quiet times, whether that's meditation, time alone, separation, you know, time where we can just sit with our thoughts and breathe and think and connect with heaven and connect with our twin through the cosmic senses, through the 5D realm, you know, through visualization. They give me fear, dreams, you know, so don't panic right now if you're in separation or you're not communicating, because things happen the way they're meant to for a reason. There's always a plan. And when we go into separation, whether it's for the first time or any time, we can go into panic. But that's because the ego creates that fear and tries to edge all the goodness out of what the space can bring in. Because space, the stillness of it, brings in clarity and it brings in progress, because when we are in that energy, we can think, we can feel, we can understand without pressure. And that's really the energy the masculines are in right now. They are processing and coming to decisions and finding solutions to make those decisions without pressure. And they have pressure from family, friends, children, their job, you know, from the karmic partner, and they stress out. You know, the masculines don't deal very well with pressure. Divine feminines, you may think that you don't, but you do. You are a warrior. When you get pressured, you get tested and triggered and you bounce back. You know, you get knocked down, but you get back up. And your masculine sees you as an inspiration in that way. Because when they go through these things and they get tested, they become very angry, frustrated with themselves. They can turn to alcohol or distractions. They can shut themselves down or cut themselves off from you. And they don't deal with pressure very well. And if you've ever experienced masculine energy, which you will do, the more you get closer to your union, you'll know exactly how that feels. You know, I've operated in masculine energy a few times really intensely. And I've done videos when I've been experiencing it to show that to you. You know, usually when we are experiencing masculine energy, we feel how much our twin needs us in their life, because they crave our energy so much that, you know, they want that, but they can also push it away. And it seems crazy to the feminine's mind, because as a feminine, we want to nurture, we want to give, we want to care, we want to spread that love and share that love and give that love. That's a very natural thing. Whereas the masculines, they want that love, but they tend to push it away when all they want is to hold you and connect with you and kiss you and for you to say everything is going to be okay. But instead they become very vulnerable and scared and they push you away. A lot like a teenager running into the room and slamming the door in a mood and shutting out the world and having a tantrum. Well, after the initial tantrum, time will pass. And that teenager won't want to stay in that room. They'll get hungry, they'll get curious what's going on, they'll need to venture outside. And your masculine is the same. He's not going to stay in that energy forever. He needs to calm down and get his energy back and feel safe, and then he will return. So the silent times are also reminding you that that's where the magic can happen. And that's where we can find that clarity that we need. And also where we can trust in the love. So from this point on, make it your mantra to not panic or stress or take things personally or go into any form of anxiety if there's a separation or a silence of any kind. You know, because these can be things like what you would perceive to be a big separation where you haven't spoke for years, or even if they haven't responded to you in an hour. You know, it brings up the same feelings. It's how we deal with it that makes us the warrior that we are. So today, trust that your inner wisdom and your inner knowingness is real and it's true. And when you trust that inner wisdom, you can follow its guidance. So if you feel like you need to release, that's what you need to do. We're in this powerful energy of the full moon. The full moon is still lingering around. It's powerful. It's bringing in this clarity energy. The other night I went out and it was going dark as I was walking home. And the full moon was up there. And I shared that on the channel. And it was so powerful. The sky was clear. It was stunningly beautiful. And it was showing you, it's about this cleansing energy. And it's been really cold here in the UK. When I posted out the giveaway prizes, I walked to the post office really early in the morning. And it was still dark, but it was kind of turning lighter. And it was that cold and icy, you couldn't see in front of your face. But you know what? It felt so good because it felt cleansing. I was breathing in the air and it felt cleansing. So that's what happens during these silent times. And that's what they show me in the picture. This gorgeous, beautiful winter scene. You could see that as beautiful and cleansing and clear, crystal clear. Or you could see that as, oh, that's not very nice. It's a bit cold and I wouldn't like that much. So it's all about our perception that creates our reality. So you're being reminded that today. This full moon has brought with it cleansing energy to bring in clarity and power. And, it's really powerful, some of the messages. They're giving me fear that have been coming through. To buoy your faith when you're in fear. And I say fear, you may think I'm not operating in fear, Liz, but if you're operating in doubt, if you're doubting the journey, or you're feeling that your masculine needs to do something now, or you're feeling impatient, that's through fear. The fear of not having it now, or the worry or the anxiety that they're going to move on or it's not going to happen. It's all fear-based energy. It's through the ego. Fear shows itself in many ways. It doesn't mean you're going to be sitting there shaking with fear. The fear puts you into the what if. What if it doesn't happen? What if he never comes? What if it takes years? What if this? That's fear. It's a false experience appearing to be real. That's what fear is. Or if you're going over the past and thinking, if only I'd done this, if only you'd done that. And then, it brings up all this stress energy because we can't change it. But what we can do is accept where we are and be at peace. And, so many messages have been coming out about the new year and what's ahead and the energy of the water rabbit. And there's so much power ahead. Doesn't matter what's happened up to this point. Everything has grown you and made you stronger. And maybe you thought, well, I thought I was going to be in union by now. But it will happen at the right time. You're farther ahead on your journey than you think. And so many of you have been coming into union. There's many twins that have already come into union since 2019 and 20. Me and George being one of those couples. So it is coming. But you have to trust it and believe in it and feel it and know that you are whole and complete anyway, with or without your twin. So that's what the message is today. But to follow and trust your inner wisdom, inner wisdom, because you're wise and you're gaining all that wisdom, clarity. We're going to bring in the Angel Blessings Oracle. So what do you need to know? 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 Let's get a message for the Divine Feminine. We've got one coming out there. So the message today is, listen to this. True patience, and that's what we really do have to learn on this journey, because patience isn't about waiting around, looking at the clock. It's about enjoying life and trusting your journey enough to know that everything will come to you at the right time and nothing is missing. True patience is about, and they give me the word pace because you have to pace yourself and you have to be kind and loving to yourself, because, it does take time to remember what we already know. You learn all these things, but you already know them inside because your soul knows. Hey, our body, our, mind, our physical self just has to catch up. True patience is about enjoying the moment fully without the need for something more. And that's so powerful. Enjoying this moment without needing it to be different, or needing it to be now, or needing your twin to do something differently than they are doing. Just being in the moment and enjoying it and feeling at peace. That's what true patience is. And unconditional love is unconditional. That means you can't put conditions on it. So if you're thinking my masculine should do this, or this is all he needs to do, he knows he's intellectual and powerful and spiritual just like you. Why? Because you are one. He may not be accessing that all the time right now, or living yet in his authentic truth every moment, but he is just as powerful and psychic as you are, because you are one soul. So you've been asked to trust that today, to trust the love. So trust the inner wisdom that comes to you through signs, synchronicities, your connection with the divine, any readings you do for yourself or you listen to. If it's resonating with you, it's for you, and then follow its guidance. So if your guidance is, I need to relax, I need to let go, I need to work more on myself, I need to let him do him and I'll do me, and just let it be, then that's what you need to do. So often as a divine feminine, we're overdoing, overgiving, over trying for the fear that they're going to move on, or they're going to forget about us, or, they're not going to, be with us. But it's not true. The masculines are more likely to come forward to you when you truly surrender and stop giving so much and work on you, than if you're overgiving, because they can feel pressured to do it the way that you do it. They don't feel good enough. So they catch you up when you let go. When you slow down, if you're chasing your masculine, if your masculine's running, and you just stop chasing them, they're going to slow down. They're not going to run anymore. They're going to turn around and wonder where you are. And then they're going to start chasing you. And that's what the angels want you to know. So this is a day of power. Stand strong. Maybe you want to wear some bling to remind you of that. Shine bright. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.